Hey, what is going on, guys? ThePromG, welcome back to a brand new video. Now, what I have for you today is the rarest manga volumes that I have in my entire collection. Figured I'd do a little compilation of all my most rare and expensive volumes to showcase in one video because, as you know, I'm a rare manga collector and I just love out-of-print stuff, finding deals, and just having things that are pretty exclusive and hard to find. So, yeah, I have a lot of them in my collection, and I'm showing you the most noteworthy ones in this video. So, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the first volumes I'm going to be showcasing today are two volumes of One Punch Man. Now we have the Loot Crate edition and we have the San Diego Comic-Con Volume 1s. So content-wise, nothing is different between these and the original Volume 1s, except for some artwork on the front. We see here we have the new spine and the same artwork on the back for this one. But for the Loot Crate one, we have different artwork on the front, obviously. Yellow spine, which is really amazing, pops pretty well. And we have new artwork on the back. I believe this is one of the bosses he fights in this volumes, the mosquito. So yeah, we have these two volumes right here. If you want to pick up these individually, they're going to run you about $25 to $30 each. Next up, we have Tsunade Volume 4. Now, I actually just realized that this is upside down. There we go. Now you see the title is right side up. That always throws me off, even when I was reading it. But yeah, we have Tsunade Volume 4. This is a kind of ecchi series that I read recently, 8-volume series, and it's out of print. I believe most of the volumes are anyway. Oh, I can't show that. Yeah, let's just flip some other artwork. But I can't show that either. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna keep that closed. So like I said, this was an ecchi series and pretty out of print, especially this volume. I don't know why, but this volume I've seen go for like $80 to $100 listed, but now it's kind of plateaued at around $30 to $40 from what I've seen, and this is in like new condition, so yeah, you could probably fetch anywhere from $30 to $40 for this volume. Next up, we have a complete series, that being 7 Billion Needles 1 through 4. Now, I don't think this first volume is very rare, but I've seen it slowly creep its way into the $20 range, which isn't a whole lot, but decided to mention that the second one is not rare at all. You can get it for like $5. But the main attractions in this are the third and the fourth volumes. I'll start off by saying that I don't think this series is very good. It just happens to be rare because it's vertical, like you can see there and with the spine. But yeah, vertical stuff always goes out of print, this especially, and being not a very popular series, I'm guessing it didn't get a very large run. So yeah, this one is about $25 to $30, and this one goes for about $40 to $45 from what I've seen. I'm actually going to ship this whole series out to someone that bought it on Reddit a few days ago. I think I sold it to them for $75. In all honesty, I don't really recommend you getting this physically. You can read it online. In my opinion, it's not a very strong series, but it's definitely cool to have for its rarity. Up next, we have some volumes of 20th Century Boys in the singles. Starting off, we have volume 17 here, and then volume 19, and 21st Century Boys, the sequel. 20th Century Boys obviously getting the perfect edition release as of lately, and I think they're on about 6 or 7 right now, and these singles have actually been getting a lot harder to get, especially these ones right here. So I believe that all of these go for about $50 each, and honestly I think it's worth it because only these ones are pretty rare, and the rest of them, if you can find from a good deal from time to time, I think it's a good investment because obviously these spines are just timeless, and compared to the Perfect Edition spines, I really don't think that the Perfect Edition ones stack up at all. So yeah, I definitely prefer the singles. I think a lot of people do. But if you can find these volumes for a good price, definitely recommend go picking up 20th Century Boys. And next up, we have some volumes of Eden, It's an Endless World. Now, there are 14 volumes in the English release for this series put out by Dark Horse, but I believe it got discontinued, and the last 4 volumes, 15 through 18, are only available in Japanese, or at least they're only put out in Japanese physically. But yeah, I'll put the prices up on screen, and I'll just go through them. So yeah, here we have volume 7. Next we have volume 8. This one I think is the most expensive out of all of them. You can see all of them have parental advisory, but this one especially has some very adult content. So I mean, that kind of makes sense if you think about it like that, why it'd be so sought after. Then we have volume 9. Here we have volume 10. Hopefully I'm getting these in frame, I'm not sure. Then we have volume 13 and volume 14. So yeah, these are some of the more rare ones of the 14 volume run, and you'll notice I'm missing volume 10, or actually no, I'm missing volume 11. I have volume 10. Volume 11 is also rare. I believe it's like $40 to $50 depending on where you get it from, but I do not have that one yet. Soon I'll be getting it, but as of right now I don't have that one. But other than that, I have the entire 14 volume English release completed, and yeah, including some of these rare volumes that were discontinued and are severely out of print. Next up, we have volume 10 of The Flowers of Evil by Shuzo Oshimi. They put these out into deluxe omnibuses, I believe Vertical put them out into, but again, Vertical stuff goes out of print, so these singles are pretty sought after, especially volume 10. Flowers of Evil, really messed up psychological thriller series, I guess you could say, with some ecchi stuff, you know. I don't really know how to describe it without spoiling anything, but yeah, we have volume 10 here, really out of print. This is an ex-library copy. Somehow they decided to put the biggest ever library stamp I've ever seen on this one, so obviously that affects the value, but without this, they usually go for about $60 to $70, so I'd say maybe $40 to $45 for this volume is appropriate, but again, who knows, it all depends on condition, and it's kind of up in the air based on this stupid library stamp they had to put on, but I'm grateful to have this in my collection. Being a pretty rare volume, having this series complete is a feat, but if you're determined, you can find them all for a good price. Next up, we have Lone Wolf and Cub, volume 27. Now, this is a really small volume, as you can tell, but this one is actually very expensive. Lone Wolf and Cub in these singles is a 28 volume run. I believe 27 is the most expensive one out of all of them, and this series did get reprinted into omnibuses, but those are also very hard to find, so I was lucky enough to take these in the singles this past month, for a great price. Don't let the size fool you, this volume is very expensive and rare, hard to find. I've come across it a few times in the wild, surprisingly, given its rarity, but this volume actually goes for about $50 in this condition. Really good condition, minimal yelling, all things considering. Very readable copy, no spine damage. So I'm very happy to have this volume in my collection and have Lone Wolf and Cub complete in the singles. Up next, we have some volumes of BlamBytes Domini. Here we have volume 5, volume 8, volume 9, and volume 10. So I'll go through these one by one. Volume 5 and let's see here, volume 9 both go for around $30. Nothing too crazy, all things considered, but volume 8 actually goes for around $50 based on what I've seen. You can't find this on Amazon because it says out of print. Let's go check A-Books, and from what I got on there, in this condition, really great condition on this one especially. Yeah, minimal yellowing, you know, no yellowing on the pages themselves. But yeah, this one goes for about $50, and then volume 10 I've seen go for about $60. All things considered, given this volume's age, it is pretty good, and as you can see here, the pages have minimal yellowing as well. So yeah, really good artwork, by the way. Somebody, hey, go read the series if you haven't already. Classic sci-fi series, and yeah, if you get the master editions, good, but the singles I just feel are a better way to read, given my personal preferences. Yeah, either way, you cannot go wrong, and if you can find these singles for a good price, you'll definitely be well off. Up next, we have 2 volumes of Helsing. Now, these 2 volumes, especially volume 10, are notoriously hard to find. Volume 9, nothing too special. This one goes for about $25. Again, you'll have a little bit of trouble, but not nearly as much as volume 10. Now, volume 10 in good condition goes for about $60, I'd say, but this one, as you can tell, is in like new condition. So no damage at all on the spine, no grime or anything on it. I'm trying to keep it that way, hopefully by wearing the gloves. But yeah, this is just an excellent condition volume of this, and I placed this volume at around $80 in this beautiful condition. Next up, we have kind of a strange one here, being Witchbuster volume 11 and 12. So this series is actually a manhwa that was put out into these 2-in-1 volumes, and yeah, it's a really niche series, but I've seen from My Anime List scores that's actually pretty well received, even though a lot of people have never heard of this. And surprisingly, this volume in particular is very rare. So yeah, if you look on Amazon, you'll see this listed for about $100, which is absolutely insane for a series that mostly no one's really heard of. So kind of crazy. I've never seen it sell, so I can't really tell you what the list price is, or the sell price is actually. But if you want to pick up this volume right now, it's going to run you about $100 for just this volume. Now next up, I'm going to be going through all of my rare volumes of Gants. Now, this is a notoriously hard to come by series. in these singles anyway. They're coming out with the omnibus, so if you want to pick the series up for cheap, you can go ahead and do that. But if you're an extreme rare collector like I am, you know, that just doesn't cut it. So I had to get these in the singles, and surprisingly I managed to get these for a really good price. So yeah, I'm going to be going through these kind of like I did with Eden, because there are just so many. And one thing I will say is that the volumes that are out of print for this series, or rather the volumes that are rare and expensive, is always changing. As you know, as time goes on, volumes that weren't expensive become expensive, and you know, prices fall for volumes that were expensive based on, you know, the new reprinting of the omnibus. So all of it's kind of up in the air, but take these prices with a grain of salt. But I'm going to be putting up the prices on the screen, so yeah, take those with a grain of salt, and yeah, we'll go through them. So here we have volume 7, volume 12, volume 13, volume 16. This one's missing the parental advisory. As you'll see with some of these volumes, they're missing the parental advisory sticker. I don't really know how that affects the value of these, but I would think it doesn't matter too much based on the fact that you're really just paying for the volumes themselves. So, but you know, those little things can have an effect on value, so who knows. Next we have volume 18. Then we have volume 20. I actually have 2 copies of this one. This is one of the more hard ones to find. This copy is missing the parental advisory sticker that should be right here, but the other one I have does have it. It's just in a box that I'm trying to sell. So yeah, we have that. 2 copies of this, volume 20. One of the more hard ones to find out of the whole set. Now going into the second half, we have volume 21. This one is still sealed in the plastic, as you can see. You kind of see that shine there. That makes these volumes more valuable. So yeah, we have volume 21. Then we have volume 24, also still sealed in the original shrink wrap. Then we have volume 25, one of my personal favorite covers. I just think that it looks really, really sick. And up next we have volume 26 of Gants. This is probably the rarest volume in the entire series. You can't really find this for less than $100 anywhere I've seen. And I may be saying that this one's also missing the parental advisory sticker that should be on the front, but it's actually conveniently located on the back here, as you can see. Very interesting placement of this one, but yeah, volume 26, probably the rarest volume in all of the Gants singles. Moving on, we have volume 27, volume 29, volume 30, volume 32, and volume 33. Here, I'll move this down so you can see it a little bit better. Volume 33, also sealed in the plastic, brand new. Gants is a 37 volume series, and I own all of it, but volume 37 is actually still coming in the mail, so maybe it's in my mailbox right now while I'm recording this video, but as of right now I don't have it. But volume 37, I also technically have bought and own, I guess. Just don't have it right now, so I'll also put the price up for volume 37. And finally, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the most rare manga potentially in my collection. And I say potentially because it's actually very hard to find a price for these volumes, given that they're so rare. So I'd say it's a safe bet that they are more expensive than the volumes I've previously listed. But yeah, that being said, I couldn't really find a firm price for any of these to base this off of. That being said, we have Courier Dojo Ultimo Volume 10 and Volume 12. Now, this series is actually thought up by Stan Lee, as you can see. I believe he was behind the original concept. Yeah, it says there. And this was a 12-volume run. I read this back when I was in elementary school. The first volume was in the Shonen Jump magazine, back when they actually printed those physically in the United States. And yeah, volume 1 was in there, and I fell in love with this series. Haven't read this since elementary school, but I picked up the entire series physically over these past few months, and I finally was able to get my hands on volume 12, and I actually have 2 copies of this one, which makes it even more rare that I have 2 copies of the, you know, very limited run that are known to be in existence of these volume 12. Volume 10 actually recently became very hard to find. You can't find prices for it on A-Books, Amazon, anything like that, or on eBay as far as I know. So yeah, it's really hard to put a price on these volumes. I've actually been offered prices on Reddit, like through Reddit. I've never listed these volumes, but people have like hunted me down through posts in the search bar feature, I guess, and just seen that I'm in possession of these 2, and they've gotten several offers in the hundreds for these volumes. So yeah, that being said, these are definitely the rarest manga that I have in my collection. Really stoked to own this series, obviously a childhood nostalgic series for me, but little did I know that this series would become extremely rare in the future. So definitely glad to have these in my collection, especially 2 copies of the very, very elusive Volume 12. But yeah, that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. If you guys did enjoy seeing all these rare manga that I have in my collection, make sure to comment down below what you have in your collection that can be considered rare and out of print. I'd love to see what you guys have in your collections as well. So yeah, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.